What's up, everybody? I'm Taylor, and you're tuned in to the Taylor James Lifestyle Show. Before we go any further, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this with your friends. We got some valuable information that we would like to share with as many people as we possibly can. So that starts with you guys. Get out there and share this podcast. The only way that we grow is through word of mouth. And again, that starts with you guys. And I appreciate your help. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's topic. Today's topic is going to be about the importance of taking vitamin D on a regular basis, of course. So, vitamin D, super important. We're going to jump into the specifics behind why it's important to take it and why I personally recommend it. I don't think you'll really meet many more people, aside from myself, that are as big an advocate for vitamin D as I am. Reason being is vitamin D comes from sunlight. Typically, you can get vitamin D in many different forms. You can supplement it, but a lot of times the most generic way that humans get vitamin D in their body is through sunlight. Well, people that live in areas like myself, I live in Alaska, where we go through real dark winters, and it's cold out a lot, and so it's difficult to get an adequate amount of sunlight to get the necessary vitamin D that you need. And so if you live in a place, maybe even like Seattle gets rainy. The Pacific Northwest gets kind of cloudy from time to time, and it can be a long time before you're really getting that direct sunlight contact. The other thing that I throw out a lot of time is like if you work nights, maybe if you have an awkward schedule to where you're not awake during the daytime. It's really important for a lot of different reasons that we're going to get into in a minute, but it's really important that you take vitamin D. With that being said, we're going to jump into, let's see, I believe it's 7. We got 7 points on why it's important to take vitamin D. So, topic number 1, bone health. Vitamin D is crucial for the absorption of calcium and phosphorus, 2 minerals that are vital for maintaining bone strength and density. Excuse me. Regular intake can help prevent osteoporosis and fractures, especially in older adults. That's facts, dude. I mean, this is all obviously science-based stuff, but I've noticed just in my resilience, vitamin D is super critical for your bone strength and density, of course, and especially as we age, we start to lose that, and as we become less active as we age, we start to lose that, and so it's really important to do everything we can to get behind that and kind of reinforce our health and our bone density, our bone strength, as we kind of get to the point of life where maybe it's going to start to degrade a little bit. Number 2, super important, especially with this. We a couple of years ago, obviously, went through a huge pandemic, and it was really critical for a lot of people to really make sure their immune systems were boosted, right? And so, topic number 2, immune support. Vitamin D plays a key role in supporting the immune system. It can help your body fight pathogens and may reduce risk of infection, including respiratory infection. Well, with that being said, let's take a look at the COVID pandemic that we came out of not too long ago. It was a pretty big deal, right? A lot of people's immune systems got compromised by it. And again, kind of one of those things, a preventative maintenance tool. You want to get ahead of your immune system. You don't want to try to fight it once you're sick already. You want to try to build it up to where when you get sick, it's strengthened already so that it fights properly when it's time to fight. Respiratory infections, for anybody that's been through anything respiratory, it is a nightmare. And so anything that you can do, small, big, medium, little things here and there, anything you can do to beef up your immune system is highly recommended, especially vitamin D. Like it says, it plays a key role in the supporting the immune system and beefing it up. So so topic number 3, we'll just dive right into it. It's one that I love and I stand by. Mood regulation. So I'll read this topic and then I'll kind of get into my personal experience behind it. There's evidence suggesting that vitamin D might play a role in mood regulation and may help in reducing the risk of depression. Adequate levels of vitamin D have been linked to improved mood and mental well-being. Word. I definitely agree with that 100%. And reason I believe that so much is because I've seen that firsthand. I've seen it in myself. Now, I'd mentioned earlier working nights and living in Alaska. So we have 2 seasons here. We have the darkness and we have the light, essentially. In the summertime, it's light for fucking 20 hours of the day. And the wintertime, it's light for maybe like 6 hours a day sometimes. It's really gnarly. And working nights, in the summer isn't horrible because it's light all the time. But working nights in the wintertime, I mean, you could wake up and not see the sun, not see daylight at all. You could wake up and go to sleep and work the entire time and not see the daylight for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Depends on your schedule. And I've been in situations where I was gone for 6 weeks working nights the entire time. And the only reason I didn't lose my mind and snap on people was because, and I believe this, is because I was taking vitamin D in conjunction with other vitamins, of course, but I was taking lots of vitamin D. And, I try my best to stay as regular and consistent with my vitamin intake because I feel it's most effective that way. And I believe there's science behind that as well. But if I missed a day taking my vitamin D and I would go to work, I would notice that I had maybe a shorter fuse. I was just less tolerant of bullshit. I was like, I don't know, grumpy-ish, not like pissed off, but just this underlying sense of kind of grumpiness, And the next day, I'd take my vitamin D and maybe it would be like a 180 degree difference, right? 180 degree difference between light and dark, right? I would be in a great mood, helping lift other people up, you know what I mean? But those days that I didn't take that vitamin D, I noticed a severe difference in the mood and my feelings and the way I operated throughout the day. And so I firmly believe that. I mean, I don't know if anybody here has heard of cabin fever, but in the wintertime, especially in places where there's lots of snow and it gets really cold, we're inside a lot. And just what that does to our personality and our feelings and our emotions and our mood is kind of rough, I think. You know what I mean? I don't think as humans we're supposed to be enclosed for long periods of time. But I really do believe that taking vitamin D kind of helps us get through those times where it's kind of necessary for us to hunker down and hang out inside during these winter months, right? And on to topic number 4, heart health. Real important. And all these are really important. But I'm gonna keep saying that. This one's really important. Heart health. Some studies suggest that vitamin D may contribute to heart health and could reduce the risk of certain cardiovascular diseases. Wow, how beneficial, right? A lot of people forget how important their heart is. There's a lot of body parts in our bodies that kind of run on autopilot. Obviously, our heart is one, the lungs, digestion, organs, they all kind of just do their thing, and we kind of don't think about it. We kind of forget that, there are critical things in our body working all the time, nonstop until we're dead, and our heart is one of them. And anything that we can do to, take care of the organs that are always working, you know what I mean? We should do those things. And, for me, heart health is really important, you know what I mean? I want to be around for a long time. I want to have a strong heart. I want to be able to run. I want to be able to do a bunch of cardio. I want to be able to lift weights. I want to be able to play with my dogs, play with my family, things like that. And when you get, cardiovascular diseases, essentially, when you get or suffer from any of those, it takes the joy of life away because you're just unable to do certain things that you used to be able to do. And so get in front of it, you know what I mean? Get behind it, whatever. Get on top of it, stay on top of it, take your vitamin D and contribute to the positive progression of your health, right? On to number 5, muscle function. Vitamin D is important for muscle function. Deficiency can lead to muscle weakness and pain. I've noticed that myself. I have seen that firsthand. It's kind of, for me, I have a horrible habit of ebbing and flowing. I'll be really good at taking my vitamins for a year, you know what I mean? And then I'll go like a month or two and I'll just kind of be like, fuck, I forgot. And I'll just get kind of lazy. And, it's probably a conjunction of not taking other things as well as not taking vitamin D, but I definitely notice that my body doesn't want to work as hard when I'm not taking vitamin D. And I also think that it helps in recovery. I don't know if that's on here. It doesn't have it on here, and that's kind of just more so my theory. But again, I think, vitamins in general are something that will help with overall health, recovery, growth, things like that. And obviously the preventative maintenance side behind it, we want to get ahead of that. That's primarily the most important part to me, is the preventative maintenance for the future. And obviously right now I want to be the best me that I can be right now for my future self, for my future friends, my future family, all that, right? And it starts with taking care of our bodies. They don't last forever, and we got to put good shit in them so they last us as long as they can. All right, so number 6, reduced risk of chronic diseases. All right, let's see. Adequate vitamin D levels may be associated with reduced risk of diseases such as multiple sclerosis and certain types of cancer, including colon cancer, breast cancer, and prostate cancer. Boys, you better be taking boys and girls better be taking your vitamin D. Those are some serious things. You start throwing around, cancer and chronic diseases like that, multiple sclerosis and stuff like that. Heavy stuff. And again, just another reason why I think it's so important to stay on top of taking vitamin D and making sure you're taking adequate amounts of it. A lot of times, I'd say probably about 100% of the time, you can go to Walmart, any Safeway, just about any fucking store and get a vitamin D supplement. Now, whether or not that supplement is quality, I'm not sure. You'd have to really look into it a little bit more than I have. I have brands that I trust and that I use, and those are kind of my go-tos. But it's such a small thing to do to help contribute to your health journey, right? It's such a small thing to do. It's, and the other thing I was going to say is you can always go to a doctor and they can prescribe you vitamin D. And if you're, I think I have, 50? I have 50s that I take. I think I take 100. I think, is it MCU or something? I can't remember how they measure vitamin D. But I think I take 50 to 100 daily. But I've heard of people who have severe deficiencies who get prescribed vitamin D, and it's substantially more. But I had a friend for a while who was prescribed vitamin D because of just the winter time and the darkness, lack of sunlight, and it helped with their mood and overall health for sure. This is a big one. Number 7, and our last one, is regulating insulin levels. Vitamin D may play a role in insulin regulation and can help manage type 2 diabetes. It's also one of those ones that can help prevent getting closer to, coming down with type 2 diabetes, Insulin regulation is really important in the body, and if you can do anything to help that process take place, that is something I would highly recommend that we do. We live in a world where it seems like the opposition, people who want to have control and get paid by the exploitation of our health, it seems like we live in a world where it's celebrated to eat certain foods, and it's celebrated to live certain lifestyles and things like that. And really, I think, that the Western diet is a little bit flawed in that way. I think it's backed by a lot of corporate greed. I feel like it's backed by a lot of dark things. And so in a world of always feeling like somebody's out there to get you, as far as, corporations taking advantage of us, exploiting our health and essentially lying to us about the foods we're eating and the diet we're supposed to have. In a world like that, I think it's important to do everything we can for ourselves to keep ourselves healthy and safe and kind of, secure and distant as we can from the types of things that can cause, diabetes and things like that. I'm a pretty big advocate of vitamins. Multivitamins a lot of times have vitamin D in them, but excuse me. Whoa. Damn, guys. Coffee burps. I haven't been taking pre-workout for a couple weeks. I've been drinking coffee. I'm trying to bring my tolerance down a little bit. We'll probably do an episode on caffeine and pre-workout and stuff at some point, but that was today's episode. In closing, I'll kind of give you guys a little bit more. It's important to note that while vitamin D has many health benefits, it's also possible to have too much of it, leading to vitamin D toxicity. This is usually due to an excessive supplementation rather than a dietary intake or sun exposure. Always consult with a healthcare professional before starting a new supplement regimen. I recommend it. You know what I mean? At minimum, do some research, maybe look into it. Read the back of the label of the container you're buying. Don't go ham. And if you have any questions, consult your doctor. Again, I think yesterday was on protein and the importance of knowing kind of what you're putting in your body. I am a huge advocate of talking with a healthcare professional before you make any big changes. And for somebody, this might be a big change, adding a supplement. The other part of that is, doctors and they typically have access to better quality medicine and stuff like that. And so maybe the answer for you is to go to a doctor and get prescribed high quality vitamin D. And what they can do too is they can test your levels of everything, and they can kind of give you a more in-depth breakdown of what you need and why you need it. Again, this is just general information on vitamin D, the 7 most important topics to me, at least, and I'll recap on them: bone health, immune system support, mood regulation, heart health, muscle function, reduced risk of chronic diseases, and then regulating insulin levels. And then again, I am not a healthcare professional. I am a personal trainer and a healthcare advocate. I highly recommend that you talk to your doctor before making any critical changes. And if you have any questions, always reach out to a doctor or a nurse or somebody who is a healthcare professional, as I am just a healthcare advocate. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to hop off here. Got some more stuff to do today, more work to do always. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping in and learning about vitamin D with me. I hope that helps you guys and can impact your life in a positive way, like it's impacted mine. So once again, guys, thank you, and victory to everybody. Talk to you next time. Laters.